have probably my favorite Hot Wheels. As a kid, this was my favorite one. This is the one that I loved to play with. Oh, it is so cool. And as a kid, this was the car everybody that I knew wanted. They are a cool car. The Pontiac Firebird. It's the Hot Bird Hot Wheels. It is cool, cool, cool. Now, I already have one of these in good condition, so I don't feel the need to restore this guy. So I'm going to customize it, see how it goes. We'll snazz this guy up. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. So, first thing we have to do is get him open. So, that means taking out the one rivet. So let's do that now. Now, I used to think using a punch was a little unnecessary, but the more I do this, the more important I realize it is. To get this post drilled out perfectly. Okay, looks good. Yeah, pretty center. Maybe not exactly, but close. Always one more for good measure. All right. I've mentioned this before, but I'm using my handheld drill instead of my drill press because I was having some trouble getting the control I wanted with the drill press. Let's see if that's enough. Might not be. There we go. Popped it. That's all I wanted. So our base is in, decent condition. It's not bad, but we'll shine it right up. It'll be really easy since we're taking these wheels off. The interior is dirty, which is to be expected since it's got an open interior. Pretty simple. We'll probably keep it brown. And the glass. It's not cracked, that's the important thing. It's pretty chewed up in the center, but that's not terrible. So this should shine up just fine. And the body, which is dirty, it really doesn't matter. There's going to be pits, there's going to be discoloring, there's still going to be stuff we're going to have to do to this guy. But that's half the fun. So let's get him in some stripper. And I already have the jar here ready to go. I'm using Citrus Strip. That's my preferred stripper right now. It's my favorite that I've found so far. It is a little expensive, but it seems to be worth it. It works slowly, but it works really well. And it's non-toxic. It smells nice. I don't know if it's non-toxic. I take that back. Don't believe me. It's probably not non-toxic. It is less harmful than some of the other stuff, and it smells nice. I would not eat it. Bloop. Okay, we're gonna do the standard lime out treatment for this. This is 50% lime out, 50% water. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
So lime out, sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. You really don't know until you get it cleaned and washed off. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Be right back. Okay, the lime out did a fair job. It's usually always a little underwhelming how well it does. Still wet. Neutralize the acid, wash it off. So I think what I'm going to do is just polish it by hand a little bit and see how that works. And then we'll go from there. I don't anticipate this taking a lot of work to get where it needs to be. Let me work on this for a few minutes and I'll be back again with the finished result. Okay, so now here is our base. Ooh, that's kind of shiny. Oh, you can see it if I don't shine it directly at your eyes. Much, much, much better. The bases are one of those things. Every restorer is going to have their own preference on how good you want it to be. You could spend hours and hours on this thing. I'm one of those that really don't put a lot of stock into the base. Remember, you're doing this for you. So unless you have a client or something that is paying you to do this, do whatever you want to do and make it fun. I don't spend a lot of time on my base. I'd rather spend my time on the things that I can see when it's sitting on my shelf. But that's just me. I definitely think it's much, much better. And I think it looks pretty good. So, onto the glass. This is important to me. And it looks pretty rough right now. I know a lot of guys use Pledge and like to dip it in Pledge after doing some sanding. I've had some bad experiences with that. I get runs. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong that everybody else is doing right. But whatever it is, this Novus plastic polish is what works best for me. So that is what I'm going to use. It's definitely more work than the Pledge. I'm not going to debate anybody about that. But it works. For polishing, I've started using these makeup pads. They're cheap and they're soft, and they've worked well so far. I've used them on several projects. Glass is another one of those subjective things. When is done, done. For me, it's when I can clearly read through it without any distortion. You know, it's the same with it as it is without it. And that's when I think it's done. Now, of course, there's going to be some scratches and pits. This is a car that is, was made in the 80s. So maybe the 70s. I'm not sure exactly the date. I'll have to look in my book. But, so, I mean, there's going to be some dings and stuff. And unless you wanted to replace the whole windshield, you're just going to have to live with it. But this is definitely much, much better. And I think it looks good. Again, keep in mind, on your screen, this is blown up quite a bit. From where I'm holding it, I can barely see any scratches at all. So, that's the way it is. Now, these are the wheels I decided to go with. They're not perfect, but they'll do. I was looking for something a little bit nicer. I wanted something with more of a gold chrome to them. I thought that would go really good with the black, but I just couldn't find it. And I had these in my wheel bin, so I think they'll work. Now, they fit decently in the base, but there is one problem. If you look carefully, that tab gets in the way. So all I'm going to do is cut that tab off. Just like that. I could add wheel tubes. I could do a lot of things. But this is the simplest and I think the most effective. After we get the wheels on, if we need to lower it or raise it, then we might need to do some other adjustments. But you need to have the body really to tell that stuff. Next I'm gonna glue these wheel in. They fit like as perfect as you could get. Really nice. Here's a tip for you though. Use the Superglue Gel. Normally I hate this. I hate the gel for almost every application except for this one. Because if you glue these in and it's the really thin superglue, then it can run up your axle and into your wheel and glue your wheel to the axle and they won't spin. And that super sucks. So if you use the gel, it's going to stay in place and it'll be just fine. Now you don't really have to glue these in. It just makes it easier really for assembly. If you don't glue them in, that's fine. The body and the interior will keep it in there in almost every case. So anyway, just put a dab there and a dab there, and we are done with that. Let that dry thoroughly. Usually let it stay, at least an hour before I even touch it. So pretty much done with all our parts until the guy's done in the stripper. So I'm gonna go, I don't know, play a video game or something for a while. See ya! Now for its age, this is one of the nicest castings I've run into. It does have a little bit of corrosion and there's a lot of discoloration, but we knew this was gonna go into the zinker anyway. But there's no pits. It's in really, really nice shape. This is shaping up to be a beautiful car. Now there are some problems with the casting from the factory, as there always are. So I'm going to go ahead and get those. And a few little places from play, dings and whatnot. That's going to happen. I mean, if this car was in perfect condition, we wouldn't be restoring it. and we wouldn't be having fun. Okay, we've got it in the magic zinc plating solution, and we're zinking it up. It's working hard in there. Okay, it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been about 2 hours for me. So this has been plated and polished, and man, does it look good. You can see the reflection of my gloves in there. I could use this to shave. It is so shiny. It's hard to kind of convey that through a camera because it really doesn't, show up well on film. But man, it is unbelievably shiny. I love it when the cars look like this. It looks so good. So my next plan is I'm going to kind of I guess a candy coat. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm coated with a transparent metal black paint, and it hopefully will allow this chrome shininess to shine through, so it'll give it a lot of depth. It should be a beautiful paint job. So we're off to the paint booth next. Normally I don't do anything with interiors, I just leave them be. But since this one is so open, I figured we might as well do something with it. And since it's so plain, so I'm not going to do much. What I am going to do is I'm going to use this Nuln oil. Let's see if this will focus on it. There we go. And this is a wash. And how it works is I'll kind of slather it all over this, and it's very thin, and it's going to soak into the crooks and cracks and just show the details more. It will shade the entire thing, but if I want to, I'll be able to wipe off the top part and make that light again. But you really can't know until you do it how it's going to work. Here, really the only thing that we have left to do is to paint this front, because I want to do that before we put the body on, because this kind of goes in and shows through, and it would be really hard to paint deep inside where those are. It'll make more sense when it's all put together. So I'm going to do the headlights, and then the chrome of the grille area. Alright, it took 3 tries, and this was not what I originally had intended, but I am pleased with how this looks. Notice I got a very light ghost racing stripe down there. The first time I did this completely black, just like I intended, and then I actually did all the detail painting, but then I just didn't like it. It was too plain. And then I tried to put a stripe down the center, and I messed up the masking. So this is my 3rd attempt. It worked really well. I used a base coat of gunmetal. I masked off the stripe here, and this stripe is, the mask was on the metal, so this is the zinc plating showing through for the stripe. Now the other place is pretty opaque. This car probably did not need to be zinc plated. But after I painted the car gunmetal, except for the stripes, of course, because it was masked off. Then I went over the whole thing with Arctic Blue in testers, and then clear coated it, and yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks really good. We just have a few little details to do here, and I'm going to do just a little bit on camera and most of it off camera because it's so easy to mess up this part. And after you've done a nice paint job, you don't want to mess it up. I think we're ready to put this guy back together. Should be fairly easy. Oop, got it backwards. This is just a self-tapping screw from the Redline shop. Great product, great product. And here we have it. That looks really good, really good. I love that racing stripe. I know it doesn't pick up much on the camera, and when you're just kind of casually looking at it, you don't notice it. But as soon as you pick up the car and start to study it, oh, it looks good. Interior looks good too. Whole thing looks great. I love it. Love it. It's actually better than what I was expecting. Awesome. Now, I've been getting some criticism that my engine sounds are pretty terrible, and I wholeheartedly agree. So we're just going to play around with it, and I'm going to add some engine sounds in post. Of course, I have to make them in real life, so I got to do it myself. But I'll dub over them with some real Firebird engine sounds. Okay, if you'll remember, this is the before, and now the after, and it's like a totally different car. I love it. It really wasn't terrible to begin with, but it's much better now. I really like it. Okay, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.